Good evening, classmates. Professor Bruce and the classmates from, excuse me while I get organized here, cyberspace from Omaha, Nebraska, right here across the street from my alma mater, Omaha Central High School. It is English 422, Contemporary Poetry Forms, Final Performance Poem. That includes hip-hop, jazz, and funk influences. It's on the poem is called Black Rain, Black Rain. Okay, first, before we perform this poem, let's give you a little background, a little reflection on the motivation. This poem presented a major challenge in constructing this final performance poem, Black Rain. I was encouraged to use various rhyme schemes in jamming and alliteration and slant rhyme and in rhyme. And in composing, I would say I revisited the text, exaltation of forms, contemporary poets, celebrate the diversity of their art. And I focused on that piece by Tracy Morris on the skills of Rakim of the hip-hop duo Eric B. and Rakim, and applied them to the dynamics and the flow of poetic pieces by Grandmaster Mel and the Furious Five from his two pieces, The Message and Beat Street. Also, the works of the Last Poets and Gil Scott-Heron. And for you, Professor Bruce, and the classmates, you can view the styles of Grandmaster Mel and the Furious Five and the Last Poets and Gil Scott-Heron on YouTube. Now, this poem here, I had to use certain things that Professor Bruce inferred as motivations for the composition of most poetry. And for me, it's just life, negotiating through life wherever I happen to be. So as I was moving in life, coming from work as a contracted case manager from the Illinois Department of Corrections, Parole Reentry Program, en route to the Dan Ryan L station on Pace Transit bus, I observed many of the events that you're going to hear about in this upcoming performance piece, Black Rain, Black Rain, from the window of a Pace bus. Yes, I saw the aftermath of the slaying of a young African American, either a teenage boy or young man. It was a dollar store type mall parking lot off the Wild 100s in Halstead. Same area where Donovan McNabb, professional quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, escaped via I can't remember the name of the Catholic high school he went to, but he was supposed to go to Morgan Park, but he began his transition away from the Wild 100s in high school by going to a Catholic high school that was away from the Wild 100s, and then from there, Syracuse University. From Syracuse University, he went on to the NFL and got away from that Wild 100s, because it is a very volatile area where human beings live every day. Okay, but one thing that got me on that day as I was en route to Dan Ryan was the almost carnival circus type atmosphere of women, men, children, and senior citizens gawking at the form of what I saw from that bus window was once a human being. The still form lay motionless on the asphalt parking lot while the crowd laughed and joked and gave high fives to each other. The still form lay motionless on the asphalt parking lot. Yes, there were a few members of the fallen victim's family crying, and they were being kept from that particular area from getting too close to the crime scene by uniformed police officers. The celebrating crowd made so much noise that they drowned out the mourning sounds of the few family members that were there. And that fact is notated in one of the I would call it a quatrain plus one stanza. And it goes something like this in the poem: block someone's view, just might start another fight. The eyes have it, they have a street corner view of white chalk encircling a lifeless human form. It was at that point that during my after work sojourn that I wrote about the storm that was brewing inside of me, that was notated in a couplet that's in this poem. Simply, the storm is brewing, the storm is brewing. Another fact that I recall from my journal was the blinding, flashing hue of blue lights from the domed cherries on top of several of the police cars that had arrived on the crime scene. blue lights flashing, blue lights flashing, blue lights flashing. And this poem presented another challenge for me, because many of my childhood friends or their children have been killed by gunshots in this decades-old war on drugs. So yes, writing this poem was an emotional challenge, but I do feel that the spirit of hip-hop, funk, and jazz very present in this particular piece. I believe that any one of my classmates could write this poem or write a poem similar to this. The only tools needed are a journal, sense of poetic meter, and in a corner of Chicago. Any corner will do, so long as the poet lyrically and rhetorically captures what is happening and makes sure that it's true to the best of what their eyes see. It does not have to be a tragic event. That just happens to be the world that I was trapped in upon arrival in Chicago from 2004 to 2007. But hey, my goal is that this reflection will help everyone better understand my cyber classroom performance. Secondly, that many of my classmates will join me in painting lyrical and rhetorical paintings of the diverse universe that is Chicago. So now, with motivations and foundation laid out, let me present to you Black Rain, Black Rain. Here's the weather forecast. Cloudy in anticipation of precipitation. Thunder, lightning. Wind gusts moving through the city at 40 to 50 miles per hour. Tech 9s and Glocks blasting and the clouds are overcasting. Grab your umbrella, grab your raincoat, run for cover, seek shelter from the storms. Because the forecast is calling for black rain, black rain. Black rain, black rain. Black rain, black rain. Can we survive as a people in a black rain? Can blacks, Negroes, colored folks, or African Americans coexist together in Eurocentric harmony with hard money? Black rain, black rain. Black rain, black rain. Black rain, black rain. Can we survive as a people in a black rain? Colors are no longer abstract, with brushstrokes of mahogany, yellow, cocoa, and black. The legacies of those hues are histories that have lasted for eons. African, Caribbean, and Brazilian, Afro-Vietnamization, indigenous, multiracial, this concept is beyond spatial. Heard it in chants, blues, gospel, soul, rock, folk, and hip-hop. Same song playing, same song saying. Same song playing, the same song saying, black rain, black rain. Black rain, black rain. Black rain, black rain. Can we survive as a people in a black rain? Don't ignore this forecast. Seek protected covering. The storm is brewing. The storm is brewing. Dropping out of school in the 7th and 8th grades because mom's boyfriends are recruiting him, and him to work in the drug trade. Nurturing youngins to serve on street corners causes fluctuations in cultural weather patterns. The storm is brewing. The storm is brewing. Keep your eyes on the clouds. Be aware of the approaching storm fronts. Thunder, lightning. Thunder, lightning. Nightclub parking lot. Asphalt became the default for the living. Transformed into a crime scene. Pain and anguish deflate a mother's dreams. Yellow tape marks the barricades where the seeming lifeless young black life form now lay. Blue lights flashing, blue lights flashing, blue lights flashing. A mother's hopes and aspirations for her son were now crashing. Block someone's view, just might start another fight. The eyes have it. They have a street corner view of white chalk encircling a lifeless human form. For this reason, a mother's young black son was born. Listen, hear his heartbeat. Listen, hear his heartbeat. It took 9 months of labor. Push, breathe, push, push, breathe, push, push, breathe, push. A mother's legs mounted and spread upon the stirrups are the entrance and doorway for new life to enter this world. His head pops out and they grab his tiny body, cut the cord, suction mouth, and hear his first unspoken words. Baby boy was trying to be heard, But on this night, a mother's voice was crying because on the cold asphalt, her man-child lay dying. Can blacks, Negroes, colored folk, or African Americans coexist together in Eurocentric harmony with hard money? Black rain, black rain. Black rain, black rain. Excuse me. Black rain, black rain. Can we survive as a people in a black rain? Skies are cloudy and the future is cloudy. Children's futures are rented with no leases, with no deposits and no returns. It's dangerous and lethal to educate young black and brown minds. COINTELPRO's turbulent blast has left the culture and history of a people overcast. Fade to black, fade to black, fade to black. Survival once united communities, without theories or political agendas. Old school folks acted out the concept that it took a village. But it is a new age, and they got to get it now in an instant. New age morality and community are now defined as dying, trying, but not getting rich, and killing folks like flies trying. It's survival of the fittest and the quickest in a black rain, black rain. Black rain, black rain. Black rain, black rain. Can we survive as a people in a black rain? Thank you, Professor Bruce and classmates. From Omaha, Nebraska, Albert Tavin Briggs. Black rain, black rain.